Kole TV News, expanding your view.
All right, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon in the city of Lagos. Thanks for joining us on the program Kole Digest, where we'll bring you top issues going on in the country. My name is Brownson, and I want to believe you're having a very good weekend. For us, we'll always be here bringing you, giving you things happening in the country. And of course, today on the program, we'll be looking at the June 21 election that would be coming on in Ekiti State. Ekiti State is a very controversial state when it comes to election. Don't forget, the state was in 1996 under General Sani Abacha. And ever since then, it has been very, very peculiar in nature. No governor has won an election back to back. And if you look at the tenure that's run within the time, you discover that we've had several governors, some of them not even completing their terms, and it's been very, very controversial. It's just a roadmap to what we will get to see on June 21st, where the election would be coming up. Today on the program, I have a very one of the governorship candidates from Accord Party that would be throwing us, that will be throwing more light to what's happening in Ekiti State. Of course, also considering the violence and all the election antics going on there, as well as what he has for the people of Ekiti State. Kole Ajayi joining me, as well as Peter Oyewole. He's a human rights activist. Good afternoon. Good to have you on the program, sir.
Thank you very much, Brown.
Kole, good to have you.
Morning.
Happy weekend, and you guys look real good.
Thank you.
All right, Kole Ajayi, I beg your pardon. Yes, that's it. Let's go straight to Ekiti elections. Very, very controversial. When we talk about Ekiti election, a lot of people are always very, very much interested because of what we've seen in a couple of years from 2009, where we moved into democracy, till now. 1999, I beg your pardon, where we moved to democracy till now. Other states can say they've had like 3, 4 governors, but we can't say same of Ekiti State. Why is Ekiti State that peculiar?
My own take is that Ekiti is peculiar because the Ekiti people, they have their own values, and such values are based on their dignity and integrity. Ekiti people are very upright. When they say no, it is no. There's no way you can force yourselves on them. So that is always the issue. The issue has been people resisting tyranny. When they know you are already derailing as a governor, people rise up to resist you. And that is why at a stage, Ekiti was having a lot of political instability. And today, the polity in Ekiti is more stable. The violence being recorded in the electioneering notwithstanding. And also you will realize that the Ekiti is always a focus. It's always of interest. And maybe it's because of the homogeneous nature, whereby everybody has a sort of compact cultural value. You know, Ekiti is a one indivisible state. I mean, compared to all other states where you have a lot of dialects going on. For instance, in Ondo State, you have Akokos, you have Ondos, you have Okitipupa, you have Ilaje, all with different cultural values, different cultural languages. And you know, Ekiti produces the highest number of professors. Ekiti produces the highest numbers of intellectuals. So an average Ekiti man believes in himself, even up to, I mean, the least man on the street would call the bluff of the billionaire that you can go ahead with your money. So when it gets to that, it's a peculiar state because of the values for self-integrity and self-dignity. So we cannot but be having the highest number of conflict. But that does not reflect the fact that in terms of development, Ekiti people has not really done bad at all. They have not done bad.
All right, absolutely. Yeah. You made a very valid point. Ekiti State, no doubt, as far as Nigeria is concerned, have produced the most amount of professors. But looking at it now, does it reflect in terms of elections? If Ekiti State are that learned, why can't the people conduct themselves when it comes to election period?
Yes, that is where we are coming from. What is happening in Ekiti? Since 1999 to date, people that have been coming to pretend as governors have been people that have not gone through the terrain. They are people that are alien to the system, sovereign in quote. They are people that they don't possess the core values of Ekiti. Right from 1999 to date, they are not homegrown. So they are people that sort of infect the Ekiti people with a lot of wrong values, like corruption, like not having integrity, like all these money politics, like a lot of negative values have been introduced by people that always sojourn outside, that when they want to become governors, they come around. And of course, they start governing. So they are the ones that have polluted the values of Ekiti. And that is where we are coming from. And that has been our crusade. About 3 years ago, we started Ekiti Koya for the installation of a home-based government, devoid of godfatherism, devoid of capital flight, devoid of, a home-based government that would instill a government of, good governance and transparency. So those are the key points we were pushing through Ekiti Koya. And of course, we have been able to influence our people on the need to put the personality above the party whenever there is a governorship election. So Ekiti Koya has dovetailed into Accord. Accord, the national leadership of Accord, has accepted that as far as Ekiti governorship is concerned, all the principles of Ekiti Koya should be adopted. So that is where we are coming from. We are the only party that is portraying, that is bringing to the fore a homegrown and a home-based candidate. Okay. And of course, that is where we are going.
All right. Let me look at it from human angle. Comrade, the aspirants here have said that
a candidate.
A candidate for one of the governorship candidates have now said that the values of Ekiti people have been hampered. That's why we are having some of this violence sometimes. You want to agree with him?
Let me start from this angle. That why has the election in the Ekiti state been in this situation? We need to look at the background of these candidates, of these governors that has had the opportunity of being at the helm of affairs in Ekiti state. Like he has rightly said, many of these candidates, of these governors, are not that homegrown, and though they believe they are from Ekiti state, but how much of this cultural value of Ekiti have they promoted before they could say they want to come back and become? It is not a crime for you to be an indigene of a particular state, travel abroad, then you now want to come back to develop your home, your country home. It is not a sin. But what are the values of those people that are coming back? And that is why the values, the Ekiti value is being tampered with by those people that are bringing them in. You look at the people behind their ambitions. See, if you are sending me to a particular place based on your own support, based on your own ideology, I believe I don't have that power to do it. But you are here to back me up and I am so desperate and very, very ambitious to get it, I will have to dance to your own tone, irrespective of what will happen to my own people, irrespective of how my people take it. Maybe it's going down well with them or not. I'll have to dance to your own tone because you have become my godfather, and I'll have to do that which you want me to do, and that is what Ekiti State is passing through right from 1999 inception. Okay,
Mr. Barrister Kole Ajayi, you made mention of homegrown.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you define homegrown? Because yeah, let me get. How do you define homegrown?
Well, when you say somebody is homegrown, homegrown is not all about where you domicile. It's all about your thorough understanding of that terrain, number one. Your thorough adherence to the core values, number two. Then you have to develop a very strong synergy with the people. That is very important. Somebody like me, I started from, right, I was 16 years old. I was the first president of my Catholic youth organization. Then I attended my primary school in Kole Ekiti, completed my primary school in Ado Ekiti. Then my secondary school in Christ School, Ado Ekiti. My university, I did my first degree in sciences, Ondo State University, Ado Ekiti. Then 18 years after, I went back there, University of Ado Ekiti, to read law. So I have 2 degrees in the same university. In year 2000, I was elected national president of the Alumni Association of the University of Ado Ekiti. Within that period, I became a member of the University Governing Council for 4 years, deciding the policy for the university. Within the first 6 months of my tenure, I built the first alumni center to be built in any university on the campus of the University of Ado Ekiti. And when I was in the Faculty of Law to read law, I also influenced and supervised the building of the moot court on behalf of alumni for the Faculty of Law. And I want to tell you that it was during my tenure, when Adebayo was governor, that we influenced the asphalting of all the roads within the university. Right? As I'm speaking with you, I am the publisher of the most stable newspaper in Ekiti, the Forum newspaper. And the Forum newspaper has been on since 2002. And as I'm speaking with you, I am the democratically elected national PRO at the Ekiti Progressive Union. In the year 2004, I floated a non-governmental organization, Ekiti Progressive Forum. And Ekiti Progressive Forum, in conjunction with the then state government, organized Ekiti Day celebration for 2004 and 2005 consecutively. And that is number one. Then my pedigree. My father was, in his lifetime, a teacher, later an inspector of education. He taught in Divisional Teachers Training College Ikere, an association school Ikere, and a lot of schools around. And as I'm speaking also, my mother is, because she's still alive, the first state president, National Council of Women's Societies. So when you are looking at my build-up, and it's not that I don't sojourn outside. All the while I was growing up, all the while I was making up my life, I used to stay in Ibadan, stay in Lagos, travel around. But I did not lose touch with the people. So I have a very strong synergy with them.
So are you writing off international experience?
No, I'm not writing it off because I also have international experience. That's what I'm telling you. I travel abroad. I sojourn in Lagos. I work with Jobites at a stage in my life. I was a management trainee under Jobites. When Jobites was doing inter-sardine, when he was doing jollof rice, egusi soup, and even when he sponsored Miss Nigeria in 1989, I was working under him. Later, I lived in Ibadan. I traveled abroad. But I still maintain that strong synergy. You can be living you can be living permanently abroad and also develop strong synergy with your people. Be interested in what is going on there. Partake in what is going on there. I can name a lot of names like that. So it's not a matter of what we are against. Is that for somebody to go off for so long, and all of a sudden when the governorship election is approaching, we start seeing your posters. So by that time, one, where you have been growing up since, the mentality around the people there, the friends you have made when you were there, your godfathers that are pushing you to go and be governor somewhere. So all this would over-influence you. Then, by the time you are governing, your policies will be lopsided. It won't be in line with the tandem, with the wishes of the people. It won't be in tandem with the wishes of the people. It would be anti-progressive. People will be looking at all that you are doing in a negative form. So that is where political crises always begin. And also when you look at respect for elders, it's very key in Ekiti. With the way I'm brought up, I don't think I can sit down beside an Oba for my clothes to be touching the clothes of an Oba. I'll be scared. I cannot sit down and allow an elderly person to be standing up. I quickly stand up and invite him to sit down. That is an Ekiti man for you. So all these values are being eroded day by day because we are being governed by people that have lost the values, even if they had it before. Or maybe that don't even have the values at all. And that is what we want to correct. And that is why we are telling everybody that Ekiti must, next dispensation, be governed by people that not only understand the terrain, people that can revive the core values of Ekiti so that we can have normal stability in the future. In
aspect of godfatherism, let me come to you. Godfatherism, could that be one of the reasons why we are having violence everywhere?
Of course. Of course. You see, the issue of godfatherism in Ekiti Nigerian politics.
But do you believe there's anything like godfatherism in Ekiti politics?
If I say no, you should know I'm deceiving you. Okay, let's draw this. Let's look at it this way. If you look at the volatile nature of Ekiti State now as I speak with you, as far as the campaign is going on from here and there, even before 2013, right from 2012, there has been this ambition. And people on their own side want to resist the kind of imposition. Like he said, the caliber of people that comes out of Ekiti State are not those kind of people that you can just think that you can play on their own intelligence. But it's unfortunate that they've one way or the other had their way. And when people see it that way, they will want to correct that mistake. And when that mistake is about to be corrected, it is not easy for people to now push them out. They will want to retaliate. And that is why you are seeing what you are seeing here. You see, in democratic setting, in a particular political party, there must be interest of people. Even though it's under the councillorship post, there might be 5, 6, or 7 persons that are interested in that post from the same party. And what should the party do when there is no consensus, where there is no agreement that okay, let us step down for this person to go? All of them are interested. Okay, fine. Go and bring all your mercenaries in place. Bring your people. Let's go into inter-party election and let us decide who will represent our party. Then, if you and I go to that position, if I should lose that election to you, you will know that it is clear that members of my political party, I will know that they prefer your own candidature to my own candidature. So, I need to step down. Having lost that election, go and re-strategize for another time. That is what you call internal political election to decide who represents our party. But in a political party where there is nothing like that, I say, hey, you A, B, C, and D, you need to step down for Z that is coming. Our interest is on Z, so you have to go and line up for your next time. Whether it goes down well with them, they like it or not, the imposition of that kind. That is why I want you to maybe, as a Nigerian, as a journalist, I would like you to remind me, aside Fayoshe, who was former governor of Ekiti State, I want you to remind me when last does any governor in Ekiti State emerge the candidate of his political party as a result of primary election? They don't have it. Some people says no, we want him to fly our own flag, and that person comes on. In a situation whereby there is no, we don't have any Congress that produce a candidate through balloting. So you are telling me there is no God for that reason? So this has been the scenario in Ekiti State, and in so many states like that. And when in a situation where you have issues like this, what you are going to get is what you are getting, because by the time you send me out of that party unceremoniously, I'll have to go back and re-strategize and look at how I'll come back to counter your own decision. And when that comes up, you know what is going to happen. Say, I am your father. I was your father in this political. I trained you in political setting. So you want to bite the fingers that feed you? And I want to tell you that, hey, come. You sent me out of that party unceremoniously where I don't deserve. What I don't deserve, you give it to me. Just because I said I want to contest.
Anyway,
there will be conflict of interest.
All right, conflict of interest. Talking about conflict of interest, there have been a series of attacks in Ekiti State. In these reports, we'll be looking at some of those attacks and then get reactions from my guests in the studio. Let's look at the report, Ekiti attack.
The campaign train is that of Michael Okwembamdele, Labour Party flag bearer in the June 21st governorship election in Ekiti, and the campaign town is Ilawe Ekiti, the headquarters of Ekiti Southwest local government. Though the campaign was held, but not without confrontations, Okwembamdele blamed the attack on the ruling APC, whom he says does not welcome opposition.
They were wearing T-shirts belonging to APC, but I'm happy that people of Ilawe themselves have reacted. God is fighting our battles. When God is fighting your battle, you don't need to fight again. 4
vehicles in the campaign train of the Labour Party were vandalized, while another party loyalist was badly wounded in the fracas. Ilawe Ekiti is the home country of incumbent Chief of Staff to Governor Fayemi, Yemi Adaramudu. In the face of crisis and pandemonium, Okwembamdele expresses sadness over the use of political campaigns to launch violent attacks on perceived enemies, maintaining that no Ekiti blood is worth shedding on the platter of an election.
I will not shed blood, I will not step on blood to be governor. God himself is in control.
All efforts to get reactions from the All Progressive Congress proved abortive. With the political gladiators trading blames as to the attack, Ilawe Ekiti and Ekiti Southwest local government have always been politically active in Ekiti history. The local government having towns like Eregina Ekiti, the home country of Judea, where the state chairman of the APC, more political activities are slated to nearest future, but the possibility of not having the repetition of violence like this is the responsibility of all stakeholders. Rashid, Core TV News, Ilawe Ekiti.
All right, that's some of the incidents happening there in Ekiti State. Barrister Kole, how do you react to what you just saw?
To me, as far as we are concerned in Accord, although we've been facing some pockets of attacks, but we have not been involved in any form of violence. Our bosses have been attacked severally by APC thugs, and our guys have been wounded severally by APC thugs. But one thing I notice is that I can notice hostilities mainly between APC and PDP, and also between APC and Labour. When you try to look critically at what could be the problem, you can trace it to, historically, to the lack of trust and sort of happenings in the past. Take for instance, I know there's a lot of grouse between Fayose and Fayemi, because I think Fayose believed he worked for Fayemi during the rerun elections. And according to him, he believed that having worked for them, for him to emerge, for Fayemi to emerge, he will be compensated with the senatorial seat. And I think when he got to that stage, I think he felt betrayed by the APC. I don't know the agreement that went between them. So now that he's trying to come back, APC is looking at it as, the fact that they have to resist this guy. He too feels that, okay, they have really shown me once, I have to retaliate and, of course, get back at them and get the guy off there. And Bamidele too, you notice that there's been the crisis between Bamidele and Fayemi started when Bamidele wanted to be senator, and he claimed that he won the primaries, but the thing was given to Ojuju or something.
Okay,
So
let me quickly hold you there. At this point, we want to take a very quick break for the news on the hour. When we come back from this break, we'll be looking at the chances of Accord Party in the forthcoming elections, June 21. It's going to be a very big time in Ekiti State, and of course, trust us on Core TV News. We'll be giving you updates on that. News on the air comes up next with Sabina Izoko. Stay with us.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical, women being so powerful yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on Core TV News.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Core Digest on Core TV News. And of course, we've been looking at the Ekiti elections. And of course, I already have one of the governorship candidates, Kole Ajayi, in the studio. Kole Ajayi in the studio with me as well. Now, joining me on the last lap of the program would be Babatunde Ashafa. He's a human rights activist, and together we'll be x-raying the Ekiti elections. A quick rundown of how Ekiti has fared since 1999 till date. Ni Adebayo was the first democratic governor of Ekiti State from May 29, 1999 to 29th May 2003. He was from the then AD. And of course, Ayo Fayoshe from May 29, 2003 till 16th October 2006. The election had his own fallout. And of course, they had an administrative governor that ran the state in 2000 from 17th of October 2006 in person of Friday Adeniran. There was an acting governor. He ran all through till 17th October 2006 from PDP. Tunji Olori, he was an administrator at the time from 18th October 2006. Of course, it was from PDP. And of course, we had Tokbe Ademi Louis. He was an acting governor on 27th April 2007. He ran through till May 29, 2007. And of course, Sheguni from May 29, 2007 till 15th October 2010, also from PDP. And of course, the current governor, Kayode Fayemi, from 15th October 2010 till date. And of course, the rundown of people that have run Ekiti State from 1999 till date. That's to tell you how controversial the state has been, and they're very peculiar in nature. No governor has run, or no governor has enjoyed two terms. Are we going to see history in the making, or is there going to be a twist? Now, let me come to Kole Ajayi in the studio. You're from Accord Party. And Accord. Yeah. And then we've noticed that other parties have been doing campaigns, but we've not seen much coming from your party.
I won't agree with you about that. We've been doing much. It's only we have not started the open campaign thing, but we've been going around. We've been meeting a lot of interest groups, because campaign is not all about noise. You see, the crowd you see here and there are most of the time rented crowds. The same people you move from Ado to Ileje-Meje is the same people you move from Ileje-Meje to Moba. You know, you keep addressing the same people you recycle.
Are you saying the parties recycle them? Same crowd for
yes, that is the way it's done. Yes, for people for the whole world to know that they are doing rally, and it's not. You don't win elections with rallies. You win election with proper consultation, proper planning, meeting with interest groups, meeting with a lot of personalities, the obas, the chiefs, a lot of associations, a lot of the unions, and getting in touch, close touch with your party supporters. And by the time you finish that, then you now go into open rally. Then you know you are not deceiving yourself. You know, you check the crowd in Ondo State in the last electioneering. Could you believe the APC would not win that election? Well, they did not win a single polling vote. So that is to tell you that it's not a matter of rally. It's a matter of how you properly plan your campaign.
Is that called popular in Ekiti State?
Very popular, because I'll tell you why. You see, Ekiti people have tried APC twice. They have tried PDP severally. Now they need a change. They are hungry for change. And this time around they define change. And that is why nobody is looking at those two contentious parties. And you can see the fightings are mostly between APC and PDP. Gunshots everywhere. So Ekiti people have rejected them. Before, Ekiti people have been choosing between two devils. Now there are options. And this time around, it's even a defined change.
What are the two devils?
Yes, APC and PDP. Yes, they've been each election. It has been between APC, PDP, APC, PDP. But now we have vibrant alternatives. This time around, they define change, and the change they desire is a home-based government where Ekiti economy will reside in Ekiti, where there will be total abolition of capital flight, where Ekiti people would decide what goes on within their polity. It won't be remote controlled from somewhere. So these are the things we are bringing up for Ekiti people to consider. And of course, we understand them. We speak the language. Accord is the only party whose candidate is homegrown and whose candidate campaigns in Ekiti dialect. All others cannot. Right? And of course, when you look at what is happening, there is poverty in the land. Most importantly, when you get to Ekiti, you see poverty on the faces of the people. If there is no amount of capital projects that you would do, if it does not affect the direct economy of an average man, then you have failed as a government. You have failed as a governor. So that is why Accord is addressing welfareism. We want to ensure that all our policies are targeted on improving the basic economic needs of an average Ekiti man, ranging from health, education, industrialization, employment, improving the lots of the civil servants, giving them dignity of labor, assisting them to improve on their capacity to deliver. So all these are things we are looking at. And we want to ensure that our government governance is shifted from the table of the governor. The economy of Ekiti, rather, is shifted from the table of the governor to the system. That means we want to run a system-driven economy in Ekiti. Right? So we want to ensure we emphasize on agriculture and industrialization. It's very sad to note that till date, Ekiti doesn't have a single industry. The textile industry we are boasting of has been converted to a shopping mall by the present governor. The brick industry, 500 million naira was injected into it in the last 2 years. I can bet you the place is now overgrown by weeds. So why? So that is why we are working on harnessing our agricultural potentials through improvement on the activities of our farmers, through improvement on the agricultural products, the seedlings and other activities in farming and in agriculture. At the end of the day, we want to ensure that we establish an industry in each local government, and such industry will be taking its raw materials from the prevailing agricultural products in that particular area.
Let me hold it there. I think it's very popular for politicians sometimes to come out and say some things that they intend to do. And it's also very popular that when they get to the office, they don't seem to remember any of these things. Again, let me come to you as a human rights activist. I'm looking at government of Ekiti State from 1999 till date. How would you say there have been rapid development, or would you say they have gone some step backwards?
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to say a big thanks to every stakeholder in this country, because democracy is has been accepted globally as a real driving force of development. And if you look at it, how we come in this form, if we are talking about nation building and good governance, every stakeholder has role to play. And when one stakeholder fails, it affects the entire process. So having said that, I need to admit my rights and my responsibility, and at the same time, my fault, if there's any. As a human rights activist, as a civil society, my duty is essentially of that of advocacy and monitoring. And the team we are looking at here, the campaigns and violence in Ekiti, I want to strongly come up and ask everybody a question. Why do people resort to violence? And then with what we have heard so far, all the participating political parties, the APC, the PDP, Accord, Labour Party and the rest, they have all exhibited that fear. The ruling party in Ekiti came up to inform Nigerians and the world that PDP are ready, with all the convincing facts and figures before them, to rig the election. A sitting governor and a ruling party.
Where did you get your facts from?
Well, I got it from a report from Fayemi. It was a live program. They even did, I think that they also back it up with a particular jingle.
Are you saying Ekiti election is already won before the election?
Not really. The point I'm bringing is this, that when one fails, it needs its own responsibility. It affects others. So the point I'm bringing is this. I just asked the question, why do people resort to violence, electoral violence? Then the other thing that occurs to me is, if we have violence-free and credible elections, to whose credibility? Who take the credit if there is a free, fair and credible elections in some way? I think if we want to do ourselves the real good, we need to point at INEC. INEC had over 75% responsibility to ensure free, fair and credible elections in any part of this country. Then, of course, you ask me, there is this talk about these electoral standards. Standards are about, rules of the game. My question is, are the political community ready to comply with the rules? The Accord Party, the Labour Party, the APC, the PDP, are they comply with the rules of the game? It's the same market. It's one market. Ekiti people is just one market. People are not coming from Bogun. People are not coming from Lagos. People are not coming from Delta. It's just one market. Ekiti people. The question is, are this party, the political community, ready to go by the rules? So if you are ready, then you ask me questions. Campaign, if I'm to go for campaign today, why will Accord Party fit its own campaign for the same day? If APC is to go for campaign tomorrow, why will PDP face campaign for the same campaign?
Are you saying it's wrong to have parties fix their campaign same day?
It's very, very wrong, and this is the rightful rule of INEC. There should be times table for campaigns, activities, and that is where INEC. Because I also ask the questions: who controls security agencies before and after elections? These are critical questions. Who control? Is it the INEC that controls the security agencies, or the sitting party, that is the ruling party, or the subordinate parties? These are the questions.
Let me hold you there. Let's quickly look at this report. Ekiti politics in recent times have really been marked by different violence from all quarters. Let's look at this report. When I come back, I'll be taking reactions from governorship candidates in the studio.
The recurrent incidences of violence has continued in Ekiti State ahead of the June 21 gubernatorial elections. The Nigerian Police Ekiti State Command says the situation will be brought under control. But some politicians are pointing accusing fingers at the police on the attack carried out by Labour Party members against the All Progressive Congress in Kole Ajayi, Ekiti West local government area.
So the police were involved in the shooting that happened day before yesterday in Ekiti West and yesterday in Ekiti West. In Okemesi, in Naramoko, in Eriu, at Kole Ajayi.
Yes, the one that happened at Kole Ajayi, what we have there is accusation and counter-accusation. One party is accusing the political talks of another party. The other party too is accusing that political talks from this party attacked them and they destroyed their...
The state chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Jidiawe, accused the Labour Party of being violent in all their campaign, saying the Kole Ajayi incident is a confirmation. But the Labour Party says the accusation is false.
The latest development is basically exhibited by Labour Party. At Regina Ekiti, all our billboards, the APC billboards were destroyed. At Ikogosi and Kole Ajayi.
If there was evidence that the billboard and posters of Kole Ajayi were destroyed, they should look inward.
The situation has degenerated into a war of words between the All Progressive Congress and Labour Party.
APC have been going on our own campaign peacefully, talking to our people, telling them what we have done and what we are capable of doing. And a political party is trying to destroy our people left at home. We won't take it easy with them. We're
running an issue-based campaign and we're eager to get this thing done. We're not ready for any frivolity.
The Ekiti State Police Command says it will bring the perpetrators of violence to book.
What happened at Kole Ajayi, the perpetrators of the crime there will be brought to justice.
The June 21 gubernatorial election in Ekiti State seems a tough one, but the security agencies and politicians must cooperate to make the election violence-free.
Went down there within the week. Before I get reactions, let's also look at Ekiti violence. I think it's really cause for concern if we really have to get credible elections come June 21 in Ekiti State. Let's look at this report again, and when we come back, because of time, we'll get reactions from our guests in the studio.
The busy Ado-Iwuruko road in Ado-Ekiti was completely locked down with motorists and pedestrians scampering for safety. The reason was not far-fetched. The popular Eye of Fayoshi campaign office was under heavy attack by political thugs. A staff of the Fayoshi campaign office recounts the incident.
APC people are just coming from the rally, then came, said our office, they attacked us, they collected my phone with a parcel.
Kole TV observed gunshots holes on the building with vandalized vehicles in the premises. Some passers-by were also not spared in the attack.
I was hit dead by the bullet, at my head. If I carry a baby, and my baby was with my wife was just be left to the house now, and I want the government to act to it.
Another official of the Fayoshi campaign organization also spoke on the attack.
No. That is a brutal lie. No, but how can is it me that will throw stone to governor's convoy or that boy at the hospital? We were 3 in number. We were 4 in number. Here, they just stopped here. They were shooting gun.
Not long after Governor Fayemi warned against political violence, thugs began to run riot. Fayemi's campaign team also have alleged attacks on its convoy, which left so many vehicles destroyed.
The cars that were parked in our office yesterday, the party headquarters yesterday, all got vandalized yesterday by agents of the candidates of the People's Democratic Party, unprovoked.
Fayemi and his thugs have no right to attack our office because it's like provoking our Fayose campaign organization.
With close to 2 months to the governorship poll in the state, violence is becoming a prominent feature in the campaign trail of all the aspirants. This, according to analysts, is a sign that all may not be well.
All right, drama still unfolding. We still have in studio. I think we are very privileged to have a governorship candidate from Ekiti State on the program today, Kole Ajayi. How would you react to some of? Can we have a credible election? Does it not bother you with some of this violence you've seen? Can we have a credible election with this kind of condition?
Well, it's nothing to worry about, because like I was saying before we went on break, that all you can see are signs of people being desperate to outwit each other. When people are desperate for power, then they resort to violence. And it's as a result of age-long controversy, age-long lack of lack of trust on the part of a lot of brothers, like I've analyzed before we left. Then you can see now why you said the accord is not in the news. Accord won't be in the news because all the news you've been hearing, everything you've been hearing, have always been on violence. I want to tell you that it's not all attacks that are genuine. Some people even stage-manage attacks against themselves in order to get sympathy from the public. You know? So some people may start shooting gunshots at each other's vehicles, and they will be the ones that will stage manage those talks, shooting, in order to always be in the news. So, just like I've said, everybody will soon exhaust what they are doing, and Ekiti people at the end of the day will decide where they are going. Everybody can see it very clear that some people are too desperate, and that is what you can see. That does not stop Ekiti people from having a credible election, because God so good, the election in Ekiti is going to be an isolated election. And in the history of Nigeria, at least we've had isolated elections in Edo, in Anambra, and in Ondo, and maybe some other few states. And so far so good. Jega has been doing a lot of work. He has been doing a lot of good works, and the security agents too have been doing a lot. So to me, by the time the election comes on election day, I know virtually all the policemen in Nigeria will come to Ekiti. A lot of soldiers too will be parading Ekiti.
Has arrangement been made to that effect?
Yes, yes.
I think, other than that, I don't think governorship should be, if you really want to serve the people, you should go this far. To destroy properties to get to a certain position. Yeah,
because people are desperate.
In terms of security, how prepared is the state?
Well, to me, we'll be meeting with the Commissioner of Police, and he has been assuring that there will be adequate security on election day. And Jega too came. Jega assured that the security will be beefed up, and voters will be free to go about their voting activities on election day, and I want to believe them, because we've been witnessing a lot of other isolated elections. And of course, let me tell you, on election day, there won't be all this. Everybody would go down to his own fate, and Ekiti people would decide on who to vote for. They're already watching the films, they're already hearing the reports. It is now for them to decide where to go. And that is the issue now. The issue now in Ekiti is that we are the only party that is not involved in violence. We are the only party that is busy propagating our message to the people. That is what we have in stock for the people. So we are not on vengeance mission against anybody. I see Fayemi as my big brother. I see Fayoshe as my big brother. I see Opeyemi as my big brother. So I don't need to be shooting at them. And they see me too as their brother. You see, there are a lot of scenarios in Ekiti. Do you know that at times my posters will be pasted beside Fayoshe's posters? APC people will tear Fayoshe's posters and leave my posters. At times, when my posters are beside Fayemi's posters, the PDP people will tear Fayemi's posters and leave my posters.
Why is that?
Just because I'm the only non-contentious candidate. I'm not on a vengeance mission with anybody. They know where they are all coming from. Opeyemi and Fayemi, they know where they are coming from. From the same godfather.
Could it be because they're not seeing you as a threat to them?
Presently, they may not see me as a threat. But they know that this guy is the way I conduct myself. This guy has been doing his own normally. I move around with my bosses. We have about 15 bosses we move around. I do my campaigns everywhere. My posters are everywhere. I'm a subtle threat to them. I may not be an open threat. If I'm not a subtle threat, they won't be... I don't want to reveal a lot of things on the telly. But what I'm saying is that I am not involved in their bickerings. These people are brothers. They have one or two deals or one or two things that have brought them together, and at the end of the day, there was lack of trust. And that is what we are witnessing today. And that is exactly what is happening. And because I'm not involved in all their bickerings, that is why I want to tell you a story. I think I told you in the studio last time I came. A non-governmental organization organized a peace rally for the four of us. 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. Some people say, if Fayemi and Fayoshe were there, it would be, if they were there, Kole don't go, the place will be violent, it will be gunshots everywhere. I said, let me wait and check out what happens when the event starts. Eventually, by 12 o'clock, the organizer called me. That Fayemi called and said, if Fayoshe is there, it won't be there. Fayoshe called and said, if Fayemi is there, it won't be there. Opeyemi called and said, if Fayemi is there, it won't be there. The guy called me, Kole, why not come around and steal the show? So I went there all alone and addressed the rally. And I told the Ekiti people that there is no need to be desperate because you want to be governor. It is only God that crowns the king. And the race is not for the swift. So it depends on whose head God wants to crown the king.
Okay.
So that is it.
All right, but Batunde, how do you react to some of those reports you just saw?
Yeah, thank you. Let me just make good clarifications. Electoral violence, they are in 3 stages. 1, we have pre-electoral violence. We also have election day violence, that's the 3rd. And 2nd, the 3rd is post-election violence. What you saw there, everybody has exhibited it. Every political party coming up to contest for who rules Ekiti. By June, I think the ACO candidates cannot also run away from that reality. What is that reality? The trust, justice. Fayemi is also fear of justice. The candidate for PDP, everybody. And that is where you see all this kind of violence too long. For the ruling party, you have what we call oppressive violence. And who are the oppressor in this game? The PDP and the APC. On the other hand, for the subordinate parties, you have what we call defensive violence. And our able governorship candidate here cannot also run away from that reality. If we are seeing violence has been perpetrated in Ekiti, he is also inclusive. At the level of that defensive violence, and you agree with me that it is a popular say that nobody has monopoly of violence. So when you now see this, the way forward is for the credible
stakeholders, vis-a-vis the INEC, the security agencies, and of course the media, to come forward and play their role accordingly. I am expecting INEC, because the statement I made the other time, if I am to do a campaign, for instance, I'm in Lagos, I based in Lagos, in Agigi local government, there should be a rule that every other political party should save their candidates. I think we have 7 days in a week. Haman spread it within the rest 6 days, not fixing your campaign at the same time with a particular party that is already known that is coming to do a campaign on Tuesday. And that is what you saw in Ekiti. I was in Ekiti about 3 weeks ago. I had a report that fire issue was coming from Abuja to a particular local government, not campaign relay, but a kind of strategic campaign where the city governor was already doing a campaign, and we suffer a journey that would have taken us just 15 minutes. We were there for almost 3 hours, and when I asked questions, I was traveling from Lagos to Ekiti. I didn't spend up to 3 hours. Within in Ekiti, we were just head up, counting 3 hours. Why? They said fire me and fire shake clash.
Anyway, let me hold
you can see that they are not playing by the rules, and that's why we are having so difficult.
Let me hold you there. Finally, Kole, what would you say is left to be done in Ekiti State that an Accord party can really hold on to?
You mean the question again?
What is left to be done in Ekiti State that you think has not been done that Accord party can make the difference?
Well, in terms of welfareism, nothing has been done. Ekiti youths that have graduated are still roaming about the streets without jobs. The civil servants have been they are being faced by ill-motivated on-the-job policies. The teachers are drowning in total. They are not confident about the system. The farmers are also drowning for lack of. For being neglected, and at the end of the day, there is a lot of not only apathy but economic decimation of the masses. What you see most times on the screen are just photo tricks. They are just projects, photogenic projects that don't have anything to do with the economy of an average man. So that is why we want to focus on welfareism. The health policy is in shambles. People are saying free health, but a lot of people still pay for the basic health programs, even the ones that are being sponsored by international organizations. Some people still pay for such. The health institutions are still in shambles. They are dilapidated. Out of the 21 general hospitals in Ekiti, none is working. And Ado Ekiti doesn't even have a general hospital. It's only the teaching hospital, and it's a tertiary institution that is not supposed to be attending to basic health facilities. So you can see that. And building castle in the air, government house in the air, when Ekiti already has the best government house in the southwest. That shows a sort of misplacement of priority. All these things we want to reprioritize to ensure that we reprioritize to the benefit of an average Ekiti.
All right, as we look forward to the June 21 elections, and of course we still expect more drama to unfold, but what we expect from all the stakeholders is to make sure that the people of Ekiti State are safe. It's only people that are alive that can vote. And just like the comrade have said, all the stakeholders have to come to the round table, discuss the security and welfare of the people of Ekiti State. And of course, we want to wish all the candidates for this year's election all the best. Thank you very much, Kole Ajayi, for making out time to come to our studios to look at the problems that rocks Ekiti. And we hope some of those solutions you have talked about would be implemented. Just like I said, those guys are your friends and everybody. So I think the life and properties of people of Ekiti State are also very important. Thank you very much, Babatunde, for coming on the program. Hope when we call you next time, you're obliged to our call.
My pleasure.
That's our program for today. That's where we'll draw the curtain. We'll be back again same time by 9 a.m. tomorrow, all the way to 11 o'clock. My name is Brown Season on behalf of our production crew. Have a wonderful weekend.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.